Welcome back everyone. You're watching the training week from April 21st, where we're going for more full routines on P-bar, high bar, and you will see my first time getting through more or less a pommel horse set. Weekly highlights: did the first Zoli Min since my shoulder op, and yeah, we started the week off with a close call, that face coming pretty close to the bar on that tuck Gaylord 2. And we started the week off on a Tuesday because we were still on Anzac break, so Monday was off. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Misha, and here on this channel I share my love and my adventures in the sport of gymnastics. You can watch literally every single turn I've taken on the Apparatus in the last probably around 5 years now. So we got about 7 weeks left until the big one, until my first comp in 2 years, fam. I can't believe it's been almost 2 years since I've competed. It's going to be TriStar Champs, and that's going to be the World Championships trial. So that's going to be stressful. You know, the first comp after 2 years of no competitions at all is going to be the World Championships trial. It's going to be a 2-day event, June 21st and 2nd. But prep's going well, as you've seen. P-bar and high bar already have a few routines under my belt, and in the following training week you'll see my first full 15-1 high bar set. I managed to add that pagan at the start, so something good for the future. Now because we had that extra day off with Anzac break, I ended up doing a lot on Tuesday, a lot more than I wanted, and I think I'm going to title this training week 8 Apparatus. Now, how do we do 8 Apparatus? So here's what I did on the Tuesday. I did my, had a little bit of a play on high bar, P-bar, pretty much just did kind of like a general 10-minute thing. And then I continued to touch all the other pieces and failed at about 101 D-flops on pommel. So I touched all 6 apps, and then I came back. I remember there was some time constraints. There was like a big holiday program group that was coming in, and they were gonna flood the gym. So actually you see some of them now there. And things get pretty hectic during the school holidays, but I knew I had limited time, so I was kind of in a rush, and I did 1 touch routine on P-bar, 1 touch routine on high bar. So you'll see how that went. And that's something I'm going to start incorporating a bit more from here on out, to warm up the Apparatus, just like a general warm up that you get in your hour, and then take a little break and do 1 touch routine. Had to take the mat out on vault there for the layout, because I tried to do a layout at the start, inevitably ended up doing a full. There's no escaping the twisties ever, fam. They chase you, they capture you your entire gymnastics life. But this day, what did we have on the bar prep? We had 2 minutes. So I did it very fast, right? The last week I think we hit 240 or 230 something, so reduced a massive amount on that P-bar prep. And like I said, I was in a rush. So let's see how the routine went. This was already like 2 weeks ago, so more than 2 weeks ago, but I do remember feeling pretty tired after touching all the other pieces. And it's not like I did much. I did very little on the other ones, and that was enough to make myself feel the fatigue. So I had to repeat the peach 1 bar there, and messed up the Healy. So I had to do a reverse turn there, so I'm still on the honeyed part of the P-bar, or here, sorry. And then of course a couple of steps back, taking those 1s, each step 1s, and that's probably like the next part. And you see I didn't do the giant D-arm, did 2 giants instead. So I think I may have been able to go for that giant DME, but you know, 2 minutes, rushed the grip, just planned to do a layout to preserve my knee there. But yeah, so we can't really count that as a 2-minute prep, because I failed, did not prep the bar adequately, couldn't get my whole routine. 1 touch on high bar, gonna have to change my usual 1 touch now with this entirely new routine construction. Usually I just do a pagan timer in my one touch, but now doing a stoop half with a couple of taps. So the consistency of the legs is getting better in the stoop half, but the height still got a long way to go to get it to handstand. It's just not my thing, fam. Just not my thing. So at the last part of the week, got a Zoli min. Another thing that I was never sure whether or not I'd be able to do Zoli min, because L grip on one arm, on the operation arm, it literally felt impossible just months ago. But you know, slowly chipping away. And you know what the crazy thing is? Why is Stelda the last thing to return? Why is it Stelda? That last little piece. And I've been thinking that, you know, Stelda, it's going to give me 0.1. I could just count an A, count a giant instead of the Stelda, save myself a massive headache. So I've been a bit lazy with the Stelda in the last couple of weeks. You know, because eventually, like, let's say you add a pagan and you add a Casina, I'll have to take the Stelda out anyway, but might just keep chipping away at it. Keep chipping away at that Stelda, maybe add it in, but not too fast, because it's just 1/10. A lot of work for 1/10. I'd be better off, you know, starting up more Casinas and, like I said, the Marises, because after these routines, all the routine training, it's very difficult to do as many Marises as I want. I don't even know if I may have done one on Saturday this week, but I'm gonna have to, you know, take some more time, readjust, and start some more Maris training. Yeah, I can't believe it, fam. Can't believe it. That's it. I'm saluting routines. One moment you're doing your first set of giants, and I remember it so clearly, not being able to do anything at all, and now it seems like I've gone into a time portal, come out the other side, and all of a sudden I'm saluting full routines. It's crazy. It's crazy how fast the time's flown. Pagan and the Coleman in the same set. And I think this was Coleman 95 coming up. That's right, I had a peel off. Bit of a dangerous one. And there it is. Still a bit loose through the bottom with the knees. Something I've been doing a lot in my light weeks, just doing really hard Kovacs taps with full focus on my knees. So if you look at my knees here in this Casina timer, through the bottom, if you pause it, you'll see that they're quite bent. You know, Coleman, more or less I can get close to locked knees through the bottom, but Casina nowhere near. So hard to keep the knees straight when you're tapping as hard as you can. With long pants, it does hide some of that. So if I can do it without long pants and see that my knees are straight, that's gonna be, you know, that's gonna be the real thing. Now check this out. Look at my feet. You'll see they don't go over the mat, they go over the bar. And I'm still wondering, you know, why is a back pike to my back more difficult than an open tuck to my back? And I think it has something to do actually with, you know, when you're in a pike upside down, your feet are a bit closer to the mat. You're not necessarily lower, right? Because I'm getting a double pike, that was a bad one, but I'm getting a double pike really easy, right? So double pike, crash mat, chest up, no problem. Then I did this was a tuck, so that doesn't count. But when I do open tuck, meaning I'm not grabbing my legs, like nowhere near. So I still can't quite figure out why the drill is easier in an open tuck than a pike. But on the double back, doing open double back is way harder than doing a double pike. So I hope I'm making sense there, but it's, you know, it's opposite when you do the drill. So it might be just because when you're in a pike, your knees are straight, so the lowest part of your body is closest to the mat. But the extra flip you get from being in a deep pike counteracts that. When you do a real double, you flip faster so you can finish more of the double. Look at that Maltese attempt, fam. Let's just stick to the Azarians. That was embarrassing. Embarrassing. Lifted up like 2 centimeters from a back lever. Yeah, but that open double back, if I ever hope to get a double back full on P-bar, I'm gonna have to be landing an open double back with my chest up and over rotating it, like no questions. And as I am, I'm landing an open double back with all fours, hands and feet, you know, touching at the same time. Oh, you're gonna see a hilarious double back full into the pit on Saturday. I decided to put a white mat, just a very soft mat, to see how exactly I end up, and oh, I can't wait for you to see it. Saturday, super consistent high bar sesh. Warmed up the first, 3 skills, and then repeated it on the salute and finished the routine. And here you're also going to see the Zoli Min. So I think this routine is a 4-5 if I do a stalder properly. You stick the dismount these days, of course you get that plus 0.1. But wait, did I do the Zoli here? No, wait, I didn't do the Zoli Min here. I started doing the Zoli Min in the following week in the routine. This day was my first day just doing the Zoli by itself after the routine. So I'm not, you'll see it in a bit, but I don't quite finish the Healy all the way around like I do from the Higgins. Higgins being the back of prize half turn to L drill that I do. And they do want that 360 portion of the Healy to be entirely completed at any point on the way down. So, you know, just out of preservation for my shoulder, money pagan there. That was a money pagan. Just out of preservation for my shoulder, you know, obviously I'm not going to finish the Healy entirely. So the 1 Maris of the week right there, pretty late. You know, if I went a bit sooner, that could have actually been okay. But again, it's just so difficult, and you know, I'm probably doing then. You know, then I'm going backwards and trying to maintain my casino. It's difficult to maintain everything. You know, like I've said, specificity is important, and when you're just doing a whole bunch of different things, you're gonna adapt very, very slowly. But I don't want to lose any of those other releases, you know. So anyway, first Zoli Min, massive checkpoint for me, massive checkpoint. Now the only things I haven't done is catch-ifs. I'm sure at this stage I could do catch-ifs. You know, if I'm tapping as hard as I can for a casino and a dismount, that tap should be no problem at all. And you know, you might think, well, you got to throw the bar backwards when you release, but I've never done that. I've never done that at all. I've just kind of used my lower half to counter rotate, and I've never had any throwback in a catch-if, so I don't think that part will bother me too much. But the thing is, the catch-if will give me just like 1/10, so I'm not gonna bother with it. I'm just gonna keep my reps up, slowly get that casino back in action. 220, so we put on 20 seconds, took a little bit more time. Let's see how the routine went. 5-1 P-bar. 5-1 P-bar from start to finish. Interestingly, if I you know, do my high bar edition of the Pagan, that's a 5-1 as well. So I'm going to have 2 5-1s, one on P-bar, one on high bar. And then the following steps after that, they're going to be extremely difficult. You know, that's like adding a casino. I do want to just get that stoop half a bit better and start working stoop half layout Gaylord too, because that's +3. But you also adding, taking away like a giant. So I'm curious to see if I can do it as I am. I have a feeling like I'll at least be able to come close to catching it right away, but it's the stoop half that's going to be the issue. If I get a nice stoop half, like I know I can make that Gaylord 2 around, not catch, but I know I can clear the bar. So I think this is the one. So take a look at the landing position. I paused it, I took a screenshot, and you see my forehead just smacks the mat first. So, oh, it's a toughie. It's another thing that, you know, I don't have a knack for, and I'm just reminded how long it actually even took me to get the gonads to even do that full twister. Probably took me a couple months of doing halves and 3/4 before committing fully to that twist. And this is the first time going all the way through on horse. So 7 weeks left. You know, what do I do? Do I just do P-bar, high bar? Because I don't know, that's going to be really hard. Doing nothing for like 1.5 hours or however long the comp's going to be, and then just jumping straight into P-bar, that is going to be extremely difficult. You know, your hands are going to dry up, you're going to cool down. So I could do like a horse routine, or I could do like a full twist on vault. Lol. Oh, the strength's getting weaker, fam. Maybe age is starting to catch up with me. Strength's just getting weaker instead of stronger. So I wanted to include some world clips of the week, but it turned out to be another long video. So next week, I'm gonna do my best to remember to add Josh Kahns to the Pagan Coleman Club. Josh Kahns did Pagan Coleman, and he did it damn good. So do my best to add that one and give that one a watch next week. If you haven't seen it on the gram, check it out, but we'll dissect that one next week. Thank you for watching. All the best till next time, and massive thank you to all the patrons who are helping me to fundraise for, if I qualify, this year's World Championships. Peace.